United make Poch move, Barca in financial crisis, Fabinho wants Liverpool stay, a transfer roundup, and today's Friday Feels all coming up in the next few minutes as I am your host Matt Froelich, you are the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, reportedly Manchester United have made an approach to Mauricio Pochettino. Now, there have been so many links with him and the club pretty much ever since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. There's been so much talk that is Ole going to be good enough for the future? Should he be sacked now? Should Manchester United stick with him? Are they going to trust him with a load of money in the transfer window as well to build a team that he's eventually just going to give up? So many questions, and we're still no closer to any answers. Of course, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does leave the club, then I made a video about 5 potential replacements, which you can find right here. But one of them, as you know, is Pochettino. I mean, ever since he left Spurs, there has been this rumour that he's going to be fitting in perfectly at United. His style of play, with the young attacking talented players that United have got, it just seems to fit. Yes, Pochettino doesn't necessarily have the CV of a trophy-winning manager. Having said that, you'd think that if there's a board that is willing to back Pochettino, who'll make the right signings in the right positions for Manchester United and bring them some silverware. We've already seen at Tottenham that he's able to develop players into top talents and take them into the Champions League and further into the Champions League that Manchester United have got in recent seasons. So when you kind of weigh this up and you look at the rest of the managers that are available and the money that it would cost to buy a manager from another club, this looks like it may be a smart deal. Conflicting reports have said that despite the fact that Ole is under a lot of pressure, if he loses to Everton this weekend, he still won't be sacked. But in all honesty, and you can come back and find out in Monday's Daily News, I'm not so sure. I think if it's an embarrassing defeat, if it's a lackluster performance, if United show no initiative, no intensity, and pretty much play the way they've been playing in the last few weeks and all these defeats, I really think that the United board should be having a long look at the managerial position, and I feel like he'll be sacked on Monday. That's not one of my Friday feels because I'm not actually that confident about it happening. I just think that will probably be the most likely outcome should they get battered by Carlo Ancelotti's Everton side, who, in all honesty, are on a pretty bad run of form themselves, so need to turn things around. Having said that though, moving on from all the Manchester United bashing, and actually that wasn't even bashing, I think Pochettino would be a great signing for them. But moving on, and to Barcelona, who find themselves in rather a lot of worry. And that is because of the financial crisis going on at the club at the moment. Now, a couple of days ago, they were charged with finding £171 million to cover all of the player wages. They weren't able to do it because regardless of the club you are, that's a hell of a lot of money, unless you're Manchester City or PSG. And now the deadline has passed to find that money, they really could end up in court over a few financial worries. There are some reports in Spain that they may end up being hit with a massive fine because they just cannot find the money. The main reason for this is that the player wages are just extortionate. I mean, Lionel Messi's worth it. We know that, right? 500k a week basic, apparently. Some reports are saying it's even more than that, closer to 700. On top of this, you've also got Antoine Griezmann, not really so much worth it, on around 250k a week. And basically every single player at Barcelona is on an insane amount of money. Coutinho as well. There's Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, Ter Stegen. They're all on so much. And I'm not so sure whether or not it's actually worth it for Barca. They'd probably be better getting rid of some of these big talents and bringing through some of the youth players who not only are going to help Barcelona in the next few years and the big future of the club, but also not be on such ridiculously expensive contracts. So yeah, as it stands now, Barca need to pull out £170 million from somewhere. I don't know, check the basement, check the back of the sofa, check Bartomeu's pockets. Somewhere, someone has got to have this money for Barca, or they could end up in big trouble. A club that isn't facing bankruptcy at the moment, though, is Liverpool. They're doing really well after a successful few years, and Fabinho is looking to cash in on that. Apparently, the midfielder rejected an offer from a top club in Spain over the summer because he wants to stay at Liverpool, just like Virgil van Dijk. Both of them have contracts that run out in 2 years' time in the summer of 2022, and as we've seen before, you don't want to leave it too late when it comes to renewing a contract, otherwise the power goes all into the player's hands. I don't think this is the case with Fabinho and Van Dijk. They're very loyal to Liverpool. Liverpool have made those players who they are, and they've helped Liverpool get to the top of football, so I'm not so sure they'll be the ones to turn around and backstab the club. Having said that, if they don't get a significant pay increase and a massive club like Barcelona or Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus come in for them, they may have their head turned ever so slightly. Apparently Fabinho's men are waiting on a call from the club, and Fabinho has said that he loves working with Jurgen Klopp and he wants to extend his contract 4 or 5 years into the future. He's such a crucial part of Liverpool, and honestly, he, at central midfielder, is one of the best. At centre-back, he's also proven himself to be rather handy. This is especially coming helpful this season, as Virgil van Dijk looks to be out for the whole campaign, and Joe Gomez has had an indifferent start, let's say. The sooner Fabinho is back in this team, the more settled the Liverpool defence will look. On that, though, a quick note ahead of the weekend's football, and Liverpool travel to Manchester City, and Thiago has missed training with an injury. Not sure whether or not that keeps him out of the game, but it doesn't look promising for Liverpool, who, as I mentioned, already have a spate full of injuries in their defence and midfield. So next up, and we usually do a news roundup / transfer roundup here, but there wasn't much transfer news and there was a load of Europa League action, so I've decided to go with the Europa League roundup instead. Starting off with Spurs and Harry Kane, as he managed to grab his 200th goal in all competitions in his 300th appearance for the club, as Spurs ran out 3-1 comfortable winners over Ludogorets. On top of this, remember the name Yusuf Yazici, the Turkish midfielder for Lille, who scored a hat-trick against high-flying AC Milan in a shock 3-0 win for the visitors. An insane match, and something that Zlatan nor the club saw coming after their stellar start to the season. As for Gerrard's Rangers, well, they absolutely blew a 3-1 lead away at Benfica, and they were a man up as well after Benfica had a red card in the first half. And the thing is, they drew 3-0, and it gets even worse for Scottish football, as Celtic were utterly embarrassed as they got spanked 4-1 at home by Sparta Prague. So finally, we come to this week's Friday Feels. You guys know what this is. It's where you leave your footballing predictions for the weekend's action in the comment section down below, and we read out a few of the correct ones on Monday. A massive week of footballing action. I alluded to it before, that game between Manchester City and Liverpool is absolutely massive. I can't decide between them. I think Liverpool's defence is a bit shaky, but Manchester City, although Gabriel Jesus did come back in the week, aren't exactly settled in attack at the moment. They do have quite a good defence. Liverpool have quite a good attack. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I know you're going to be like, Matt, have a pair of balls, make a proper prediction. I'm going to go 1-1. I think it's going to be an interesting game, though. Elsewhere, and in the Bundesliga, Der Klassiker takes place as Dortmund host Bayern Munich. And despite the fact that Dortmund are a fantastic team, well, Bayern Munich are just fantasticer. I'm going for a 3-2 victory for Bayern Munich. And lastly but not least, there's a couple of big games in Serie A, but a massive game between Atalanta and Inter Milan is taking place, and with both of them capable of scoring, I'm going to go for a scintillating 3-3 draw. So there you have it. Those are my Friday Feels. You guys let me know yours in the comment section down below. Whilst you're at it, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.